During the chaotic time of the Second World War, soon after the German conquest of Poland, a system of ghettos were established in order to keep check on the Jewish population until a final answer was found to the Jewish question. Ghettos were sections of cities that were intended to only house a certain group of people. A section of Warsaw, the capital of Poland, was turned into a ghetto in 1942. It was one of the major Jewish prisons in the area, holding up to almost 400,000 people in often horrible, degraded conditions. The Warsaw Ghetto held Jews from all around the Reich, but mostly Jews from Poland and newly conquered Eastern Europe.
With so many people inside the ghetto, many of them were deported and taken to death camps. This led to the Great Action, a mass deportation event that caused the formation of the ZOB, based within the ghetto, also known as the Jewish Combat Organization, led by Mordecai Anielvis. During the summer of 1942, the Nazis sent over 265,000 Jews, more than half the population, to the Treblinka extermination camp. By the end of the Great Action, only 30,000 to 60,000 Jews were left in the ghetto.
At its peak, almost 800 people were either killed or deported from Warsaw Ghetto daily. In addition to the death camps, people also died from disease and starvation in their increasingly worsening conditions. As their conditions worsened, resistance was in motion. Members of the ZOB and other organizations smuggled supplies, weapons into the ghetto, devised plans of actions, and with the help of the Polish Home Army, set up production of basic grenades. As the Nazis went into ghetto, they used unnecessary force to try to get 10,000 people deported to the death camps. It was time for the Jews to strike back. After ZOB members ambushed and fought with Nazi guards and troops, the main uprising began. On April 19th, on the eve of Passover, when 1,500 Nazi troops entered the ghetto, they were met by fierce resistance of 700 Jewish and Polish fighters. The Nazis were ambushed consistently and lost dozens of men in some armored cars. The Russians, who were advancing by this point in the war and were only 100 kilometers from Warsaw, could have joined the Jews in the fight. However, they chose not to due to anti-Semitism and not wanting Poland to resist communism after the war.
The battle lasted weeks, with casualties on both sides, but after being pushed back by the resistance too many times, the Nazis were ordered to liquidize the ghetto. They marched back inside with flamethrowers and support from artillery. The Nazis were ruthless. In the words of Jerry Rawick, a survivor of the uprising, the Nazis did not care about getting people out of the building before they went in guns blazing. The resistance was forced underground into the bunkers, and when the Nazis discovered the main resistance bunker and killed 300 Jews, including the commander, the resistance was only able to last another week before the remaining survivors escaped or were killed. On May 16, 1943, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was over.
By the end of the uprising, around 5,000 to 6,000 Jews had died from fires and bombs. Another 7,000 have been shot during the uprising. In total, the Nazis captured 56,065 Jews. 7,000 of them were taken to Treblinka killing center and shot. 22,000 of them were taken to Majdanek concentration camp. All the rest were sent to forced labor camps. The Nazis destroyed and razed the ghetto to the ground, not sparing a single civilian in the process.
While the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was technically a failure, it not only cost the Nazis dozens of their soldiers and assets, but also inspired other Jews by acting as a symbol of resistance against the Nazis. Those who fought showed great courage and selflessness and deserve to be remembered for that. The Holocaust is long since past. There are still plenty of issues, big and small, in the world today. Will you stand up against them? If so, how far are you willing to go to do the right thing?